Before we begin, I want to name what this is and what this isn't. These choice point episodes aren't lessons, they aren't meditations, and they aren't asking you to fix anything or figure anything out. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to do this right. And you don't need to reach a conclusion. This is simply a space to experience a moment, one you've likely lived before, but slowed down enough to actually feel what happens inside you. If you're in a space where it feels safe to do so, you're welcome to let your eyes soften or close while you listen. And if not, if you're walking, driving, or just prefer to stay visually oriented, that's completely fine too. You won't miss anything. This isn't about visualizing perfectly. It's about noticing what your body already knows. You don't need to change your response and you don't need to choose differently. All I'm inviting you to do is listen and notice what shows up. If nothing comes up, that's okay. If something does, that's okay too. There's no outcome you're supposed to reach here. These episodes exist for one reason only, to help you recognize the moments where choice already lives. And in this episode, we're stepping into a moment where the story moves faster than the truth. Let yourself settle, let the moment unfold, and let your body respond in whatever way it does. That's enough. Let's begin. Path one, the story takes over. Someone says something small, almost throwaway, a comment in passing, a shift in tone, a pause that lingers just half a beat longer than expected. It might be in a kitchen or over text, or even in the middle of an otherwise ordinary conversation. Nothing dramatic happens, but before your mind can sort it out, something in your body responds. Your shoulders lift slightly, your breath gets a little shallower, your attention narrows. And just like that, the story steps in. It doesn't feel like a story. It feels like responsibility, like being a good person, like handling it before it becomes a problem. Thoughts move quickly. I should explain. I don't want this to get weird. I can smooth this over. There's a sense of urgency now, a quiet pressure to act, to say something, fix something, manage the moment. You might not even notice what your body is doing as you move forward. You respond, you clarify, you accommodate. And on the outside, it works. The moment passes, nothing explodes, nothing gets said out loud. But inside, something tightens further. Later, after the conversation ends, you feel it, that familiar depletion, that subtle sense of having moved away from yourself without even realizing when. Why did I feel like I had to do that? You may ask yourself. You tell yourself it was fine. You tell yourself you handled it well, and maybe you did, but something moved before you chose. This is the story running the moment. Not loud, not obvious, just fast. Stay here for a moment, not to judge it, not to fix it, just to recognize it. Path two, the story is seen. Now let's rewind. Same moment, same words, same tone. Nothing outside changes. This time, though, you don't move right away. Not because you're refusing or you're trying to make a point. You pause. Just long enough to feel yourself. And there it is, that familiar sensation, the tightening you usually move past. You notice where it lives. Maybe it's in your chest, maybe in your throat, maybe as a subtle forward pull in your body. You don't label it, you don't argue with it. You just stay for one quiet breath. And underneath the urgency, you feel something else, steadier, quieter, less dramatic. You don't need to decide yet. You simply ask yourself gently, is this coming from truth or from the story that learned how to keep things calm? You don't rush to answer. And when you do speak, if you speak, your voice sounds different, not harder, not colder, clearer. Maybe you say, I need a moment to think about that. Or that doesn't feel right for me. Or maybe you don't say anything at all. You're still here. You haven't disappeared. The moment didn't require you to vanish in order to survive it. Inside, something settles. There's no replay loop waiting later, no quiet resentment forming. Not because the outcome was perfect, but because you stayed with yourself first. This is the choice point, not the yes or the no, the moment before, the moment when urgency usually rushes you past your body and you don't let it. You don't need to choose differently every time. You only need to notice that the pause exists. Because once you feel it, even once, the story no longer gets to decide for you automatically. And that starts to change everything. Before you move on, pause here for just a moment. You don't need to understand what happened inside you. You don't need to make it meaningful, and you don't need to decide what comes next. If something shifted, even slightly, that's enough. If nothing shifted at all, that's information too. What matters isn't the choice you imagined making, it's the moment you felt how quickly the story tried to take over, how fast the explanation arrived, how quickly urgency showed up, how familiar that pull was, and maybe underneath it, how quiet the truth felt. You don't need to hold on to that contrast. You don't need to remember it perfectly. Just notice as this ends whether your body feels rushed or steady. That's it. The story will come back. It always does. But now you know something you didn't before. It moves faster than the truth. And the next time that speed shows up, you might feel the moment before you disappear into it. Not to change it, not to stop it, just to notice that you're there.